Hello and welcome to the Planning Awards 2021 digital ceremony, sponsored by Pegasus Group and RPS Group, and supported by the Planning Officers Society.
Hello and welcome to day one of the 2021 Planning Awards ceremony. I'm Richard Garlick, Editor of Planning and Chair of the Awards Judges. It's great that, although we're yet to fully emerge from social distancing restrictions, we can get together online to celebrate the fantastic work of our finalists. We're able to do that because of the efforts of our 25 expert judges, who I thank for ensuring that this year the entries received as much scrutiny as ever. Our finalists have come through a testing and competitive process. We asked our judges to, above all, ask themselves whether entries have genuinely delivered or are set to deliver positive change. It's good to be able to tell you that there was no shortage of entries that were able to meet that criteria. Today we report on the winners in the placemaking categories, and tomorrow we turn to planning. I'll hand over to my colleagues to tell you more.
Thanks, Richard. And now to set the scene for the first of today's awards, a word from the hard-working judging panel who chose this year's winners.
Having been a judge on the placemaking awards for the last few years, I think this year the entries were outstanding on the way that they were all approaching health and well-being. There was far stronger content in terms of that sort of wider role of placemaking than just about it being the buildings. It was much more about the spaces in between as well, and I think that's a great direction of travel for planning.
There has been some truly amazing projects submitted for the awards this year. It was great to see the real diversity in the type of schemes submitted in the various categories. Many reflected a real partnership between the private and public sectors and demonstrated how both sides had come together to deliver an outstanding planning outcome, and there are lessons that we can learn from these for the future.
I think the first obvious change was COVID and the need to find a way to consult with the restrictions on movement, which I think the entries took on with digital consultations. And the other was providing for the wider community. I think the entries took that on quite well, from consultation stage to delivery, and benefits beyond perhaps what they were expected to do.
Very impressed with the resilience that has been shown by our sector and all of the nominees. In particular, I'd like to praise all of the mixed-use developments that I've been involved in the judging of, and I look forward to walking around the completed developments in the coming years. Well done. Thank you.
Now, before we reveal the first of our winners in the placemaking categories, a quick word about the Planning Awards charity partner Skylarks and the amazing work it does for children with disabilities and additional needs, as well as their whole families.
I would describe it as a hub of information and a support network, and a very nourishing and nurturing place to visit. My son Jamie skips in and just loves it.
We're seeing them grow and we're seeing their potential, and a charity like this allows us to do that, whether it's play or therapies or just chatting to another parent over a cup of tea and just bonding together as we travel through this journey.
We're based in Richmond-upon-Thames, but anyone from anywhere is welcome. We also look after their parents, their carers and their siblings. It's kind of cool, I think.
Hello! I love karate. Play football. It's very fun.
Why like coming here?
For me and my brother to play here a lot.
That's nice. So thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.
You can find out more about Skylarks and how to donate to their good work on the Planning Awards website. Just before we learn the first of those judges' decisions, please don't forget to spread the word about today's proceedings using the hashtag #PlanningAwards, and you can tag us at @planning_awards. We start with the Placemaking Award for Mixed Use Development, where the finalists are Canada Water Master Plan, submitted by Southwark Council, British Land and Transport for London. Coronation Square Redevelopment Project, Leighton, by Avison Young, PTE and Taylor Wimpey on behalf of the London Borough of Waltham Forest. Filmworks, Ealing, London by St George. Magnus Square, Egham, Surrey by Runnymede Borough Council and Places for People. And Oval Village, London by Berkeley Homes, Central London. Now from those we have 2 high commendations, one for Canada Water Master Plan and the other for Magnus Square. Congratulations to you both. But the judges' winner for mixed-use development is Oval Village by Berkeley Homes, Central London. As part of the 1,300-home Oval Village development, which has been given full planning permission, the Oval's listed gas holder landmark is intended to be restored as a residential building and sit alongside a 9,200 square metre office building, parks, community facilities and a Tesco superstore. The tenure-blind development will include 40% affordable homes. The judges said the transformational scheme shows great ambition while also being deliverable. Mixed-use development winner, Oval Village, submitted by Berkeley Homes, Central London. Next, 2 awards for the best housing schemes, starting with schemes with fewer than 500 homes, and there are 8 finalists. 54 Bishops Avenue, London, submitted by Pilbrow and Partners. ALFOLD Gardens, Surrey, by John PARDEY Architects, for Q Developments. Campbell Wharf, Milton Keynes, by Bidwells. Edenbrook Village, Fleet, Hampshire, by Berkeley Homes. L&G House, Kingswood, Surrey, by Avison Young and Howarth Tompkins on behalf of Inspired Villages. Port Loop, Birmingham, by Places for People and Urban Splash. SHERECROFT Farm, Botley, Hampshire, by HGP Architects. And Trevethau Real, Truro, Cornwall, by Places for People and Zero C. From those, the winner is L&G House, Kingswood, by Avison Young and Howarth Tompkins on behalf of Inspired Villages. L&G House, a vacant Grade 2 listed office building in the Surrey Green Belt, is planned to provide 130 assisted living apartments and 10 respite units, plus a restaurant, theatre, creche and shops. Developer Inspired Villages secured full planning permission and listed building consent in April 2020 for the scheme. The judges praised the project's carefully considered mix of uses and sensitive conversion of important heritage assets that demonstrates the art of possibility. Winner for Best Housing Scheme with fewer than 500 homes, L&G House, Kingswood, submitted by Avison Young and Howarth Tompkins on behalf of Inspired Villages. Our next award is for housing schemes with 500 or more homes, sponsored by Pegasus Group, and 5 fine schemes made the shortlist. They are Bermondsey Master Plan, London, submitted by Cone Pedersen Fox Associates. Great Knighton, Cambridge, by Countryside. Nansledden, Newquay, Cornwall, by Adam Architecture. Rochester Riverside, Kent, by BPTW. And White City Living, Shepherd's Bush, London, by St James Group. Taking a judge's high commendation here, it's White City Living. To reveal our winner here, it's over to sponsor Pegasus Group.
On behalf of Pegasus, I am delighted to announce that the winner of Best Housing Scheme for 500 or more homes is Great Knighton, Cambridge, submitted by Countryside. Congratulations.
Located on the southern fringe of Cambridge, Great Knighton is a new community of 2,550 homes. The development is months away from completion and includes a 49-hectare country park and a 50,000 square metre bird reserve, 2 schools, a community building, health centre and sports pitches. The tenure-blind development also includes 40% affordable units. The judges paid tribute to a truly mixed-use community that provides a legacy for the future. Winner for Best Housing Scheme of 500 or more homes, Great Knighton, submitted by Countryside. And our thanks to Pegasus Group. Next, the best use of arts, culture or sport in placemaking, with 4 strong contenders for the trophy. Alton Sports Centre and Whitehill and Borden Leisure Centre, submitted by East Hampshire District Council and Everyone Active. Bonington Cafe on Thessaly, Vauxhall, London, by Vinci St Modwin. Theatre Clwyd, Mold, North Wales, by Howarth Tompkins. And Theatre Square and NW2 Participation Building, Westgate, Ipswich, by WGP Architects. Now from those there's a high commendation for Bonington Cafe on Thessaly. Congratulations. But the winner, and taking the trophy, it's Theatre Square and NW2 Participation Building by WGP Architects. Comprising a refurbished public space and a new cultural building for Ipswich, Theatre Square creates an outdoor performance space above a subterranean car park, while the new building, NW2, will house new Wolsey Theatre's youth and participation activities. The judges said the scheme shows how the public and private sector can work towards providing an outstanding public facility for the social well-being of the wider community.
We are delighted that the Theatre Square and NWT Participation Building Ipswich has won this award. The influence of the performing arts can be read in the design, which are already gathering some positive notoriety with locals and offers a creative hub for the diverse communities of Ipswich. This is a testament to our fantastic working relationship between philanthropist developer Charterhouse Investments LLP and the new Wolsey Theatre, who we'd like to thank for their input and support.
Winning for Best Use of Arts, Culture or Sport in Placemaking, Theatre Square and NW2 Participation Building, submitted by WGP Architects. Next, it's Best Use of Heritage in Placemaking in the spotlight, and these finalists. Ada Belfield Centre and BELPER Library, submitted by GLANCY NICHOLLS Architects for Derbyshire County Council. Digital House, Liverpool, by K2 Architects. Marion Place Gas Holder Site, Bethnal Green, London, by St William Homes. The Horlicks Quarter, Slough, by Berkeley Homes, Oxford and Chiltern. And Trevor Basin and Surrounding Area Master Plan near Llangollen, Denbighshire, by Arcadis with Canal and River Trust in Wales, Wrexham County Borough Council and Solucia. But the winner for Best Use of Heritage in Placemaking is Ada Belfield Centre and BELPER Library, submitted by GLANCY NICHOLLS Architects for Derbyshire County Council. The former Thornton's chocolate making factory in BELPER was fire damaged and had lain empty for years when planning permission was granted in 2017 for a care home and community facilities on the site. Located within a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the refurbished factory has been repurposed as a library, whilst the rest of the development uses a mix of existing building fabric and local stone. The judges described the Ada Belfield Care Centre and BELPER Library as a triumph that represents an innovative and sustainable approach that responds to local need.
GLANCY NICHOLLS Architects are delighted to accept this award for the Ada Belfield Centre and Library. It's extremely encouraging to see care environments of this type being celebrated for their benefit to the local community. BELPER being a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it was imperative that the design was a contemporary enhancement to the existing heritage assets. We want to thank all involved, in particular Derbyshire County Council. Without the drive and determination of Liz Eubank and Jean Sturman, we would not be here today.
Winning for Heritage in Placemaking, Ada Belfield Centre and BELPER Library, submitted by GLANCY NICHOLLS Architects for Derbyshire County Council. Best use of brownfield land in placemaking now, where the four in contention are: Bollow Lane, Acton, submitted by Transport for London, JLL, with design team HOK and East. Northwick Park, Brent, London, by PRP. The Horlicks Quarter, Slough, by Berkeley Homes, Oxford and Chiltern. And West Green Place, Haringey, London, by Pocket Living. But the winner for Best Use of Brownfield Land in Placemaking is West Green Place, London, by Pocket Living. A piece of land in Haringey had been earmarked for development by the local authority, but development opportunities were limited by narrow access and a long community lease. Developer Pocket Living negotiated a land deal and developed West Green Place, a 126-home scheme offering 75% affordable homes and opening up access to the adjacent Downhills Park. The judges described the completed scheme as a fantastic example of how to make the best out of a brownfield and constrained site.
We're genuinely thrilled to have won this award, and one of the things we pride ourselves on is transforming brownfield land at Poppy Living, and it's great to leave a thriving community at West Green Place. Thank you.
Winner for Best Use of Brownfield Land in Placemaking, West Green Place, London, submitted by Pocket Living. Next in the spotlight, the best use of publicly owned land or property in placemaking, with a winner chosen from this shortlist. BESSON Street, Lewisham, London, submitted by MACCREANOR, LAVINGTON. Bollow Lane, Acton, by Transport for London, JLL, with design team HOK and East. 12 Park, Newham, London, by Berkeley Homes, South East London. And Wood Street Families and Homes Hub, London, by Waltham Forest Council and Howarth Tompkins. Now first we have two high commendations, one for BESSON Street and the other for Wood Street Families and Homes Hub. Well done to you both. But the trophy goes to 12 Park, Newham, by Berkeley Homes, South East London. The 12 Park site in Newham had been vacant for 10 years when Berkeley was selected as preferred developer in 2015. Full planning permission has since been granted for more than 3,800 homes, 40% of which are intended to be affordable, plus community facilities. The judges said 12 Park shows the potential of vacant public sector land assets as vehicles for transformative change.
On behalf of South East London, I am delighted to receive this award. 12 Park is an incredibly complex site that has taken many years to get to where we are today. Our vision has always been for this to be a development that is shaped by and connected to an existing community. Throughout the early years, we carried out an extensive community consultation and engagement program that fully involved members of the community and enabled their ideas and aspirations to inform this visionary new East London development.
Best use of publicly owned land or property winner, 12 Park, Newham, submitted by Berkeley Homes, South East London. And so we come now to the Placemaking Award for Design Excellence, where the 6 contenders are BEACHCROFT House, Westminster, London, submitted by PRP. Bollow Lane, Acton, by HOK, East and Mott MacDonald for Transport for London. Crescent Kerno, Red Ruth, Colmore, by Purcell. New Street Square Bridges, City of London, by Wilkinson Eyre. St Catherine's College, Oxford, Graduate Centre and Accommodation, by Purcell. And ZEST, Stourbridge, West Midlands, by Ruskin Properties. But taking the Design Excellence Award is Crescent Kerno, Red Ruth, by Purcell. Located in the UNESCO Cornish Mining World Heritage Site, the Crescent Kerno development has given new life to the former Red Ruth Brewery as a collection of exhibition spaces, education facilities, a library and an archive. Combining historic buildings with contemporary additions, the design makes use of a local palette of materials, including granite stonework, slate roofs, oak boarding and copper cladding. The judges described the scheme as a bold and sensitive restoration and extension of the buildings. Design Excellence winner, Crescent Kerno, Red Ruth, by Purcell. Our next award is for community-led placemaking, and this time 3 compelling finalists are vying for the trophy. Thames Futures Social Impact Assessment, London, submitted by Barking Riverside. Community-owned wind turbine, Avonmouth, Bristol, by Ambition Lawrence Weston and Womble Bond Dickinson. And Woodhurst Park, Warfield, Berkshire, by Berkeley Homes, Oxford and Chiltern. And here, one finalist takes a high commendation, and that's community-owned wind turbine, Avonmouth. But the winner, and taking the award for community-led placemaking, it's Thames Futures Social Impact Assessment by Barking Riverside. The Barking Riverside development is planned to transform large parts of the Thames ward of Barking and Dagenham. Master developer Barking Riverside Limited worked with research body the Young Foundation and hired local people to interview more than 400 ward residents, creating a vision that's intended to shape the placemaking strategy for the project. The commitment of the developers to working alongside people and monitoring their commitments stands out, said the judges.
And I just wanted to say a massive thank you to the judges at the Planning Awards for recognising our project Thames Futures in the community-led placemaking category. We're incredibly proud of Thames Futures at Barking Riverside because we think it sets a really important and needed benchmark in the industry about social impact and how transparency, collaboration and partnership with communities leads to better places. Mainly though, I really want to say thank you to the community researchers who worked with us on the project and the Young Foundation who provided our really robust academic support.
Winning for community-led placemaking, Thames Futures Social Impact Assessment, submitted by Barking Riverside. Next, it's time to reveal the finalists for the Partnership Working Award, and they are Development at Monk's Farm, Grove, Oxfordshire, submitted by JMR Planning Law. Luton Street and Fisherton Street Regeneration, Westminster, London, by Westminster Builds and Link City. Merchant Square Community Keeps Blue Space Clean, by Merchant Square, Paddington, London. Partnership between Berkeley and the London Wildlife Trust at Kidbrooke Village, Greenwich, London, by Berkeley Homes, East Thames. And Regeneration of Copley, London, by Ealing Council and Broadway Living. Taking a high commendation, partnership between Berkeley and the London Wildlife Trust at Kidbrooke Village. Well done to you. But the winner, and taking the trophy for partnership working, it's Merchant Square Community Keeps Blue Space Clean, by Merchant Square, Paddington. Running through the Merchant Square development in London is the Grand Union Canal. Working with the Paddington Partnership, the Paddington Now Business Improvement District and other canal-side businesses, the Merchant Square development team ensures the canal is maintained and can be enjoyed by the local community. An important biodiversity project, said the judges.
Thank you on behalf of Merchant Square and our partners, Active 360, Globo, the Paddington Partnership and the Canal River Trust. This community works hard together to ensure that this amazing space can be enjoyed for many years to come, and it's great to be recognised for this to ensure that this journey continues. Thank you again.
Winning for partnership working, Merchant Square Community Keeps Blue Space Clean, submitted by Merchant Square, Paddington. We come now to the award for fostering a healthy high street, and these are the contenders for the trophy. SG1 Stevenage, Hertfordshire, submitted by PRP. South Drake Street and South Parade PSICA Improvement Scheme, Rochdale, by Purcell and Rochdale Borough Council. And Streets for People, Pontefract, West Yorkshire, by Nash Partnership and Wakefield Metropolitan District Council. But our winner of the award for fostering a healthy high street is Streets for People by Nash Partnership and Wakefield Council. In 2019, Wakefield Council commissioned Nash Partnership to redesign the street's public realm to link Pontefract's town centre to its medieval castle. The Streets for People project involved public consultation and stakeholder engagement alongside detailed design and highways analysis, producing a series of recommendations intended to enhance the street's character, reduce vehicular access, install green infrastructure and attract more visitors. The judges observed a good combination of data analysis and community engagement.
It was a real privilege to work with the people of Pontefract on this Streets for People project, which had health and wellbeing at its heart. On behalf of Wakefield Council, Nash Partnership and the consultant team and the Civic Society and the residents of Pontefract, a heartfelt thank you.
Winning for fostering a healthy high street, Streets for People, submitted by Nash Partnership and Wakefield Council. Our penultimate award today is the Placemaking Award for promoting economic growth, and there are three strong contenders. Ryde Nicholson, Isle of Wight, submitted by RCKA Architects. Unit DY, Bristol, by Nash Partnership and Science Creates. And Welcome Genome Campus Expansion, Hinxton, South Cambridgeshire, by Greater Cambridge Shared Planning Service. Now first we have a high commendation for Ryde Nicholson, Isle of Wight, submitted by RCKA Architects. But the winner is Welcome Genome Campus Expansion by Greater Cambridge Shared Planning Service. In December 2020, South Cambridgeshire councillors granted outline permission for a campus expansion to the Welcome Genome Campus for genomics research. Plans for the extension include 150,000 square metres of research space, plus 1,500 homes for campus workers, alongside open space, woodland planting, allotments and retained agricultural land. The judges praised an excellent example of a plan for sustainable economic growth.
On behalf of the joint applicants, I'm thrilled to accept this Planning Award 2021 for promoting economic growth. The Welcome Genome Campus was pivotal to the first Human Genome Project and is now leading the global challenge of COVID-19 genomic surveillance. With high sustainability and environmental ambitions at its core, the development will support socio-economic growth at both global and local scale. Thank you.
The winner for promoting economic growth, Welcome Genome Campus Expansion by Greater Cambridge Shared Planning Service. We come now to our final award for today, and that's for regeneration. One of these strong finalists takes the planning trophy. Will it be Hendon Waterside, submitted by Barrett London? Crescent Kerno, Redruth Cornwall, by Purcell? Malt Street, Old Kent Road, Southwark, by Berkeley Homes? Portloop, Birmingham, by Places for People and Urban Splash? Purfleet Centre Regeneration Scheme by Purfleet Centre Regeneration, Urban Catalyst and Swan Housing Association in partnership with Thurrock Council. Reviving Walsall Town Centre, West Midlands by Arcadis and Walsall Council. Roman Fields, Twecker, East Dunbartonshire by Places for People. Or will it be the Glassworks Barnsley, South Yorkshire by Barnsley Metropolitan Borough Council? Now from those we have two high commendations. One is for Crescent Kerno and the second for Malt Street, Old Kent Road. But the winner, taking the award for regeneration, it's the Glassworks Barnsley by Barnsley Metropolitan Borough Council. Seeking to revive its town centre, Barnsley Metropolitan Borough Council used a 3.8 hectare site to develop the Glassworks, a retail and leisure scheme involving the modernisation of Barnsley markets and the opening of a new library and food hall. The judges said it was a great example of how strategic development and targeted investment can play a huge part in revitalising a local economy.
We are delighted to be shortlisted for the Regeneration Award for the Glassworks in Barnsley. This is a £200 million scheme, new Cineworld, new library, new market square, opens later this year, and it's been a huge collaborative effort with our partners Queensbury and Henry Boot Construction.
The Planning Award for Regeneration to the Glassworks, Barnsley, South Yorkshire, submitted by Barnsley Metropolitan Borough Council. Well, that's it for today's instalment of the Planning Awards. Huge congratulations to all the finalists, to our winners, and thanks to our sponsors and supporters, and above all to you for joining us. There are full details and much more about all of today's winners at planningresource.co.uk. We'll be back tomorrow, right here, online, to reveal the remainder of this year's Planning Award winners. Meantime, thanks for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.